Welcome back. In this next set of the tutorial, I'm going to show you how we can create controllers to enable us control the different joints that we have just created in the previous video. To start up, we're going to go to create knobs primitive circle. So I've created one that's going to be for my main controller. So I'm going to duplicate that, Control D, and I'm going to move it up to the waist, and I'm just going to look at it from the front view to be sure that it's aligned, and I'm going to scale it down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that, Control D. This is going to be the controller for the spine. Actually, to simplify things, I'm going to make that the controller for the chest, and just scale it down a little bit and duplicate it and move it down for this spine. So we're going to create controllers for all of the joints. The next thing I'm going to do now is create controllers for the neck. Come to this front view again, Control D. I'm going to put one there for the neck, and I'm going to scale it down a little bit. I'm going to create one controller for each foot. So I'll select this main one and duplicate it, and then I'm going to scale it down a little bit. I'm going to move it to this side. That's going to be the controller for the foot. I'll just try to shape it a little bit like that. So that's going to be the controller for the foot. So with that sorted, I'm going to make a copy, Control D, and I'm just going to go to my translate X here and add a negative, and it snaps to this side, and I think that is fine. I'm just going to scale it so that it matches what we have on this side also. I'm going to create a controller for the wrist. So I think I should rather take this controller that is here already and do Control D and place it where I think it should be. I'm going to move it here to the wrist. I'll scale it down a little bit. Look at it from this side to be sure it's well aligned. I think I want to rotate it a little bit just to match the orientation of the hand. Something like that should be fine. Look at it from this side. All right, and while here, I'm just going to do Control D. I will translate it with a minus in front of those numbers. And for the rotation also, I'm going to add a minus there so that it matches the orientation. So I think I have all the controllers I'm going to need to move this character. I'm going to select the joints, hide them here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to create a folder for all of my controllers. So I'll select all of the controllers. I'll click here and I'll call this controllers. So I've created a new layer for the controllers, and I'll make them white for easy viewing. Okay. And I'm going to group them together here. I'm just going to do Control G. So this is going to be controllers. All right. For my IK handle, I'm going to leave that for now. So I'm going to bring back my skeleton. And the reason why I want to do this now is I want to hook up the skeleton to the controllers. Like I said, we're not going to animate the skeletons directly. And at this point, we're going to look at how we can constrain the skeleton to the controller. But before doing that, I like making sure everything is labeled properly. So I'll select the first controller here, and I'll call this main controls. I'll select this one, is left foot control. I will select the controller first, hold down shift and select the left foot IK handle. Then I'm going to go up here to this menu tab where we have constraint, and I'm going to click on point constraint. But before doing that, I want to go to the option box, make sure that the maintain offset is selected, and then we can add. All right, I'm going to do the same thing for this foot here, and right foot controller, hold down shift, select the right IK handle, And remember, I said G is to repeat the previous command. So I'm going to click on G. Now, what we have here now is that the controller controls the left foot. All right. And we're going to do the same thing. Just check it out to be sure it's working fine. You're going to select the controller. And now you can see it controls this. Now, the next thing we're going to do is hook up the other parts of the rig to the controllers. So we're going to select that waist controller, and I'm going to shift select the spine. I'm going to add constraint. First, I'm going to add point. Now, what this does, it enables me to move the character up and down. Now you can see already we're beginning to have a rig chain, okay? Now you will notice something here. When the character's foot touches the ground, the front part of the foot is sinking into the grid. That doesn't look too good. So how do we fix that? It's quite simple. What we're going to do is we're going to select the controller, and then we're going to shift select this joint, and we're going to add a orient constraint this time around. So we want to make sure that the maintain offset is selected, and we click add. All right, and we're going to do the same thing for the other foot. Select that controller, shift select this joint, and we're going to go back to constraint and orient. Now let's see if that makes any difference. We're going to select the hip controller again, activate our move tool, and now you can see that the foot is placed right in on the ground, which is good. Okay, so now using the same process, we're going to constrain all of the other joints. Remember, right now we don't have any constraint for rotation, so the character can't rotate side to side. So how do we do that? We're going to select the controller again, and we're going to shift select this root control, and we're going to go to constrain and orient. Now what that does for us is it gives us the ability to not only move the character up and down, but then we can also rotate the character side to side. Okay, so using the same logic, we're going to rig the other parts and hook them up to the controllers. We select the controller first, and then hold down shift, select the corresponding joint. And here I'm going to do point, and I'm also going to do orient so that it can rotate side to side. And let's just try that and see if it's working. So now you can see that the character is able to turn side to side. Now, same process, we select the controller, select the corresponding joint, and I'm going to do point as well as orient. Same thing for the neck, select the controller, shift select the corresponding joint, select the controller, shift select the corresponding joint, add a point, and then also add an orient so that the character can turn its head. Last thing we're going to do is for the hand controllers. We select the hand controller and shift select the corresponding IK handle for the hand. And I just noticed now I've not given this a specific name, so I'm going to call this left hand IK handle, and this is going to be right hand IK handle. Okay, I noticed now there's no IK handle for the right hand. It's quite simple to fix. So I'm just going to go to skeleton, create IK handle. I'm going to click first here and then look for the corresponding shoulder. And then I have my IK handle. Let's just see if it's working. So that's working fine. Now, same thing, I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call this right hand IK handle. And let's just hook it up quickly. So I'll select the controller, and then I'll shift select the IK handle, go to constraint, add a point constraint, as well as an orient constraint. I'm going to do the same thing here. select the I key handle. First select the controller and then shift select the I key handle, and then you can do constrain, point, constrain, orient. Now I think we are all set. Let's see if it works. So that we can move up and down. Oh, I see. Now we have to hook up all the controllers and create parents for them. Okay, so this controller here becomes a child of the chest controller. So you select the child first, select the parent and hit P. Select the child, that is the chest, becomes a child of the spine. So you select the chest first and then select the parent and hit P. Now you select the child, in this case, is going to be the spine. You shift select the hip controller and then you hit P. All right. Then we're also going to group everything so that they hook up to the main controller. But I just discovered now that I still have to make sure that the neck controller is a child of the chest controller. So you first select the child, which is the neck controller, shift select the parent and hit P. Last thing we're going to do is select the controller for the right hand and shift select the chest controller and hit P. All right, so that way the um, waist controller controls everything. So the character, when the character jumps, you can see that all of the body is moving very well. So we are almost finished with this. So we want to make sure that the feet controllers are children of the main controller. So we're going to select two of them, hold down shift and select the main controller and hit P. That way, when we move the main controller, everything else moves. And to make sure everything moves properly, I'm going to select the hips controller, shift select the main controller and hit P. That way, if we move the main controller, it moves everything about the character. So it looks like our rig is completed and all of the controllers are completed. In the next video, I'm going to show you how we can hook up these controllers to begin to influence the mesh itself. Keep practicing. If you have any questions, pop it up in the comment section and I'll do well to answer your questions. See you in the next video.